Hey, what's up? Another week has passed. It's time for my weekly vlog. This week I'm not going to talk about anything that happened in the last 7 days. I'm going to talk about movies. I talked about The Quiet Place last week. I've talked about Thor Ragnarok in past videos. I talked about Black Panther a couple months ago. And today I was just thinking about the movies I've seen recently, the TV shows that I watch, the TV shows that I've stopped watching, and why I like them, why I don't like them, why I watch them, why I don't watch them. And I wanted to share some thoughts from my experience about what I enjoy in media, in books, movies, TV shows. And if you are someone who wants to be a creator, like I am, I'm an author, and I see these kinds of issues, and I don't want to have them. I want something better. I want something good that makes you think, and when you go through it a second time, you're like, oh, I see how that all works out now, because just little tiny things hinting at something even greater happening. But anyway, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. So first things first, I'm a huge fan of this YouTube channel called CinemaSins. And what they do is they take a film and they watch it, and in a span of like anywhere from like 10 to 12 to like 25 plus minutes, they will sin it for things like continuity errors, crew people visible in the background or in reflections on glass and water, cliches that they use, which is a big one, which I'll get into a little bit later. Did I say logical errors, continuity errors, crew people, cliches, and just a lot of other things. There's just some really silly, nitpicky things that sometimes maybe just the guy Jeremy doesn't like. But I'm very much the same way. I go into a movie and I'm like, all right, I don't want to just turn off my brain and be entertained. I want to be stimulated. I want to think differently. If I have to watch this movie again, I want to be able to see better what's going on. I don't want a movie that's so full, or a TV show or a book that's so full of cliches and recurring themes that don't work their way to fruition, that it just becomes a bore. For example, I used to watch Supergirl. I'm currently watching Arrow. I watch basically all of the Arrowverse, except Supergirl now. But with both of them, and even with The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, there are themes that were present in the very beginning of the show, and they just keep recurring. They keep going on. They keep going on. Like in Arrow, the big thing is that Oliver can't have a team. He just pushes everybody away because he doesn't trust them. And we are in season 6 now, and he's still having that problem. He's still bringing a team together, not trusting them, pushing them away, causing problems. Supergirl herself cannot have a team. She's like, oh, I'm a girl. Like, I can do anything. I don't bend, I don't break. Well, honey, either you bend or you break. That's how all matter works. If you don't bend, you're going to break. And so that's why I finally stopped watching it, because she just was continuing this theme of, I'm better than everybody else, and I'm not even gonna try to build up other people because I'm just so much better than them. I'm gonna push them down and make sure, so quote unquote, they don't get hurt. I'm gonna push them down. And the same thing with the movies I've watched. I have issues with Black Panther, where, for example, at the end, when T'Challa is meeting with the leader of the 5th tribe that lives up in the mountains, I don't remember the tribe's name, I don't remember the person's name. He says, hey, come and help me fight Killmonger, and we can get this guy out of here, and then we could talk about reconciling our differences. And the chief is like, no, this isn't my fight. I'm not the king of Wakanda. I'm just going to keep to myself. And then that, because that's the thing that happens all the time, where someone's like, no, I'm not going to come help. Of course not. This isn't my fight. And then, 10 minutes later, T'Challa's forces are losing, and then, lo and behold, there is Mr. 5th Tribeman and his entire army to save the day. And another thing, for example, in A Quiet Place, which I loved, which was such a good film, totally pulled away from a lot of cliches, but the monsters in A Quiet Place are super fast, they're super strong, they are relentless. Like, so much as a floorboard creaks, and apparently they're just going to come jumping in and slicing you to pieces. Because that's all we see them do in reaction to sound, is just destroying everything. But they're also armored, which I think is overkill. Because imagine, if you will, like the scene at the end in the basement, face to face with this creature which is super strong, super fast, and will hunt you down without any hesitation as soon as you make a noise. Imagine trying to kill that thing without making a noise. Like, yes, the woman uses a shotgun at the end, but imagine trying other things to kill this thing without making noise. Without it getting out of the way, without it being distracted by some noise you're making over here. That's hard enough. They don't need to be armored to be this super impossible to kill thing. Just make them super fast, super strong, and super relentless, and they're already tough enough. But I do love when films subvert these themes, like especially Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina is terrible, and I hate it. But Marvel has been really good lately, for example, in Black Panther and Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. And if I remember correctly, in Spider-Man Homecoming too, about not doing that. Where Deus Ex Machina is, if you don't know, it's Latin for literally God out of the machine. And it's basically when at the end of a piece of media, a book, a film, a TV show, when a character is just suddenly able to overcome the obstacle in front of them. For example, in Thor Ragnarok, when Hela first shows up, she destroys Thor's hammer, and Thor can do nothing to stop her. Fast forward a couple days in his life, and maybe about the same amount of time in her life, and they go head to head again. Deus Ex Machina would be him totally kicking her butt, and winning and putting her in the ground. But that's not what happens. He's still, even after unleashing his lightning powers, he still can't beat her, and so he has to summon Surtur to destroy the planet of Asgard and defeat her. Same thing in Black Panther when Killmonger and T'Challa go head to head in the trial combat. They're so evenly matched. It's just a few lucky strikes that lets Killmonger win. And the reverse happens when they fight again 20 minutes later. They're still evenly matched until a few lucky strikes let T'Challa win. And some of the things in Doctor Strange where Doctor Strange himself, who is new to the art of this mystical craft. I don't remember. It probably has a name that I don't know. He doesn't overpower the villain. He outsmarts him and traps him in a temporal loop by introducing time to his infinitiness, his infinite nature, and he goes away because he doesn't want to be stuck in this infinite loop. And so, like, those are some really good things that I love. I live for those kind of things. But when TV shows are shamelessly protecting their protagonists because they're the protagonists, that's something that A Quiet Place did really well. Doing the opposite of that, where it murdered the little boy in the beginning, and then it killed John Krasinski's character towards the end of the film. Like, very few films will do that. That's one of the things I love about Game of Thrones is that from the get-go, by the end of season 1, you realize nobody is safe. Anybody could die at any second. But those are things I think about when I go into a movie, when I go into a TV show, when I start reading a book, when I write my books. I think about these things like, all right, how much of this is cliche, predictable, illogical stuff? Can I hint at this solution previously, so it's not so much a Deus Ex Machina as more of a last minute revelation? How can I overcome these obstacles? How can I use subliminal messaging and character development to resolve these and have characters outsmart each other instead of overpower each other? But that's what I love about films. When films can subvert the modern expectation of the heroes are untouchable, essentially. The heroes always win. They always overpower the villain. And just very predictable processes like that. So let me know what you think of what you look for in films. I would love to talk more about films and critiquing them. That's why I continue watching films and reviewing them. I'm going to go see Infinity War when it comes out probably this weekend. I'll be excited to talk about that. Might see it a time or two before I actually review it. But let me know what you think of movie, like what you look for, what you love, what are your favorite movies, what do you love about them, what do you hate about some of your least favorite movies. Let me know what you think about movies in a comment, in a direct message, in anything. Make your own video and send me the link. I'll watch it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'd love to talk more about movies and TV shows and anime and books and all that nonsense. Maybe I'll start doing some more of that here on my channel. But until then, peace.